Hello all, this is Prakhar Mishra from India, and today I am going to teach you all C++ programming. In C++ programming, we would take the topic of sorting of numbers. In sorting of numbers, we are having a method of sorting known as bubble sort method. Before starting with the method, let's quickly revise what's an array. An array is an arrangement of numbers in one dimension, or you can say uh, uh, a number of boxes placed side by sides and inside which numbers are being inserted. So an array is given a name n or any name which the user wants to give with a size inside the square brackets as I have shown here. So n of 4 basically represents an array of name n with number of entries inside it as 4. Inside the RAM of the system initializes 5 boxes instead of 4 boxes. So in the first 4 boxes, the values are being placed, and the last box is by default given a value 0, which is a built-in feature of the array. So this is how an array is being assigned, initialized, and given the values. So let's quickly jump on to the bubble sort method. From the name itself, you can quickly think that a bubble sort method. In bubble sort method, what actually happens that like in a bucket of water, the bubbles of air which are formed, they arise from bottom of the bucket towards the top. Likewise, in bubble sort method, small numbers are being shifted in front of the array or at the starting positions, and the higher numbers are succeedingly placed towards the end, with the highest number placed at the end and the lowest number placed at the beginning. So this is how a brief or a quick note in the sorting of array. So let's get on to an example. So here we took an example of an array named n having 4 entries. Those entries are listed as you can see in this presentation as array values. So these values are 7, 2, 3 and 1, with indices or indexes as the index of 7 is 0, index of 2 is 1, index of 3 is 2, index of 1 is 3. So in this method, we would also move on to the programming interface in C++. Before that, I would like to explain how that code of logic works. So here we took two loops. First the do while loop, and second is the for loop. The do loop checks the condition whether the swapping happened or not, and the for loop iterates or goes through each and every value of the array. So here in the first iteration of the for loop, the first two values, the loop takes the first two values, checks the condition. If the first value is greater than a succeeding value, then it swaps the values. Hence 7231 becomes 2731, with assigning or increasing the value of k by 1, which indicates that there is some kind of swapping occurred. So then succeedingly it takes the next two values, checks the condition, and swaps if the previous value is greater than the succeeding value, and further increases the value of k. Likewise, it takes the next two set of numbers, checks, and if condition is satisfied, then it swaps. This is the one shot of the for loop in which 3 iterations occurred, and then the value of k is again checked after the third iteration, and if that value is found not equals to 0, then the do loop again runs by again assigning value of k as 0 and again running the for loop for the next 3 times. So in these 3 iterations, if the value of k is not equal to 0, then again the do loops would start from the initial value of k as 0, and then again 3 iterations occur inside the for loop. So likewise, again and again, going through by each set of numbers, the whole logic checks that the numbers are being arranged in increasing order. So likewise, you can see here again the iterations are happening from the starting. So first it takes first two values, checks, and if the condition is not satisfied, then the value of k remains as 0. This is this we are talking in the fourth iteration. It's the second shot of iteration. Like the first iteration has occurred 3 times, then the next set of iteration would also occur 3 times. So first two values it takes, checks the condition, and here the value of k is 0. Then in the fifth iteration, it takes the next succeeding two values, checks them, and if the condition is satisfied, then values are being swapped and the value of k is changed and increased to 1. Then again it takes the next two values, checks, and checks and if the condition is satisfied. So in this case here in the fifth iteration the condition is not satisfied, so it won't swap the values, but still the value of k is not equal to 0. Hence the do while loop would again run by reassigning the value of k as 0 and then again running the loop, since the first taking the first two values, swapping them after checking the condition. So in this way our whole array of number is sorted in ascending order. Now let's get on to the programming interface of C++. So here, as you can see, starting with the int main, this is initialized to write the main part of the function. So here int n is defined as n of 4 as 2, 1, 7 and 3. Then with the help of this for loop, we are printing our initial array, the random array which we assigned. Now here the actual sorting or process starts with assigning a container an empty variable called c, which is used in swapping part, and the variable k, which is used to check the swapping occurred or not. So this is the do while loop starting, and inside the do loop again the value of k is initialized to 0, and then the for loop then the 3 iterations are being performed inside the for loop, and the condition is checked if n of I is greater than n of I plus 1, that is the first value is greater than the next succeeding value. Then here in this 4 lines, the swapping in these 3 lines, the swapping occurs with the help of an empty variable c, and the value of k is increased to 1, which signifies that yes, the swapping occurred. Then again value of I becomes 2, then the condition is checked for the next succeeding two values, and if condition is satisfied, then the swapping occurs and the value of k is again increased to 1. Then again the third time the iteration occurs, and suppose in this time if condition is not satisfied, then the value of k would remain as that of the previous iteration, and hence after coming out of this for loop, again a condition is checked that whether k is equal to 0 or not. So here, since k was not equals to 0, again the do loop would start from the initial value, assigning again k is assigned to value 0. Then again it would come inside the for loop, and again it would run for 3 consecutive times, and then it would check whether the if condition is satisfied or not, and likewise the swapping would occur and our whole array is sorted. So let's run this code. So this is our initial array 2, 1, 7, 3, and the sorted array after the sorting occurred is 1, 2, 3 and 7, with 1 being the smallest value, then 2 is greater than 1, then 3 is greater than 2, and the 7 is the largest value. So in this way we can sort any size of array in one dimension and in C++, and we can do whatever the need is being fulfilled. Thank you so much. Bye bye.